Okay, so good morning everyone. My name is Lisa Williamson and I spend my 8-month placement in Ghana working with an environmental organization called Friends of the Earth Ghana. So Friends of the Earth Ghana is a very well-established and well-respected environmental organization in Ghana. They've been operating since 1986. So they're mostly involved with natural resource conservation. They also are involved with livelihood projects as well, building schools and water wells. And the most interesting project that I was able to go and observe is the work that they are doing in the witches' camps in the north of Ghana, which is another topic altogether. So the project site where I was working is about a 9-hour drive from Accra. It's in the western region, so the orange on the left-hand side there. Those are the staff that worked in the office with me on my last day, and they were all very nice, and I miss them very much already. So I was working with the forestry section of Friends of the Earth. Illegal logging in Ghana and other illegal forest activities is a massive problem. Just some statistics, by the year 2000, over 80% of Ghana's forests had been degraded to some extent. Forestry comprises the third largest economic sector in Ghana, so it's very important. And the communities that surround the forest reserves are obviously the most impacted by deforestation. There's also a lot of conflict between logging companies and local communities and government, so there's a lot of mistrust and a lot of issues with that. These two pictures were taken in the project area. The photo on the left is of an illegal, we're down, say, small-scale gold mine that we were able to take some pictures of. And the picture on the right is a perfect example of what in Ghana is called chainsaw operating. So that means someone from the community is going in with a chainsaw, cutting down a tree, and then cutting it into planks in the forest. So this is some of the illegal activity that goes on. It's not only the community members that are participating in this, but also the logging companies themselves. A lot of times they will steal additional trees or convince the communities that they did in fact have a permit when they didn't. So in response to this issue, the government of Ghana has partnered with the European Union to sign a voluntary partnership agreement to address illegal logging and make sure that only legal timber is imported into the EU. Without getting into too much detail, the VPA is expected to increase forest governance and also to set in place a framework to ensure that logs are tracked from the forest all the way to the ports so that everything is legal and all laws are complied with, and also that communities are compensated for the destruction going on near their communities. So this is where the project that I assisted on comes into play. VPA is still a fairly new process, and the legal framework has yet to be fully developed. So obviously forest-rich communities are an untapped resource when it comes to forest operation management. The Forestry Commission is responsible for managing the forests. So we were going in to try and test some new ideas and assess how we can get communities involved. So I felt very at home, seeing as our program seems to be an experiment. So this project, I felt like I had a connection with the community members. The project itself is called Improving Forest Management Through Community-Level Participation and Community-Based Forest Management Systems. So pretty self-explanatory. So the funding is currently in place for 12 months, so we're about 5 months in now. And obviously we're just trying to test ideas and see what we can bring to the table for further discussion with government. An important part of this project was to involve as wide of a range of stakeholders as we could. Obviously we involved Forestry Commission, we involved other NGOs including Friends of the Earth and another organization, ICED. We had traditional authorities, so the chiefs often would show up to our workshops. It was a great pleasure to have them with us. Local government, the DCE showed up. We also invited private sector, so the logging companies, we had one present with us for the workshop, so that was really great to allow everyone to talk to each other, get their issues out on the table, and hopefully get some answers. So since December, 2 workshops have been organized. These photos are from the last round of workshops. We did a lot of community education, so we would go to the community, sort of talk about forestry, get some input from them. The goal was to have them very clear on the forestry process, what the expectations were from different parties. So that was really important. This workshop that the photos are from was from the very last day. We had the Forestry Commission employees in the district. They're the ones in the green shirts, obviously. They took the communities out to the Forest Reserve, and we did tree identification and then stump and tree marking, which is an important part of the process. So it was really exciting to see the Forestry Commission working well with the communities, and everyone was engaged in it. It was such a positive experience. I can't say enough about that. My biggest accomplishment for the two or three months that I was involved in this project was compiling this booklet about VPA and how communities can get involved with the VPA process, and just sort of giving them a basic idea of what logging is and things of that nature. We distributed these at the last set of workshops, which was really exciting to see everyone enjoy reading it. For me, this project took on a whole greater meaning when we were going in, discussing illegal logging and the reporting process, and the communities communicated back to us on a couple of occasions that they did not know that it was their responsibility or that they had even the ability to report illegal logging. And that really struck me as a really significant thing, that such a simple thing, including in this booklet, that you have the ability and the responsibility to report illegal activity. That seems so insignificant, but for them that was a really powerful thing. And some of the community members communicated to us that already they're noticing illegal logging has decreased. Although we haven't really verified this, but if they're communicating that back to us, we're hopeful that this is the case. I was blown away by how engaged and how excited the community members were about this project. They kept requesting for more workshops, and hopefully we'll try and work with them to get a larger group of communities involved. Even the number of communities, we started with 4, we ended up with 6. And on the registration list, some people showed up from other forest fringe communities in the area that were not even involved with the project, but they somehow knew to show up, and so it was great to have everyone there. The communities were so cooperative, and being a foreigner and also being white, sometimes people are very unwilling to talk to you. They think you're going to pull funding or whatever, and they were so friendly. They remembered me. They always would say good morning to me, and it was so wonderful to work with them, and they were really excited that I would come here and share the project with you guys now that I'm back in Canada. So hopefully by the end of the 12 months, Friends of the Earth will be able to provide some concrete recommendations to the Forestry Commission about how we can get communities involved, because they're such an amazing untapped resource. They knew so much about the forest. It was unbelievable. I didn't know that they knew as much as they did. So hopefully we'll see VPA develop, and the licenses will start to be developed and implemented in the next couple of years. So that's what I've been working on for the last 8 months. Thank you.